Yeah, in my good evening. In my times, the unlicensed fighting, I met some good fighters. On the circuit when I was doing this unlicensed fighting, you had Lenny McLean, you had Roy Shaw, Cliff Fields, uh, Colombo, who was there? Mickey May, Paul Fitzgerald, Danny Chippendales. There was a lot of fighters, yeah, and and no one really heard about Johnny Waldron. I bet Johnny Waldron was a good fighter. I think that he was like up there, mate. He was top with Cliff Fields, yeah. I don't think he fought Cliff Fields. Not as far as I know, he didn't fight Cliff Fields. Anyway, he said, let me know, did he fight Cliff Fields? I'm not quite sure. I haven't really checked anything out like that, yeah. But I know Johnny Waldron, when he fought Lenny McLean, he fought Lenny once and beat him. I think he knocked him out the second or third round. And the get up after that was Frankie Warren with Johnny Waldron and his manager or whatever it was. Wanted Johnny Waldron to fall over in the first round. Lenny come out, smashed him to pieces. Well, it was supposed to be like that. Johnny Waldron got up, Lenny come rushing across the ring. Johnny Waldron just put out a left jab, bumped down, and he goes. So I don't think Lenny after that done much unlicensed fighting after that fight. I mean, I used to go to every show as much as possible. Go to them shows because I loved it. Yeah, I loved it, mate. And to meet Lenny, to meet Roy, spar with Lenny. And Cliff Fields, people around Cliff Fields used to work with us all the time. Colombo, I used to love Colombo in the gym. You know what I mean? And Lloyd Wolfram, and I mean, Danny Chippendales, Paul Fitzgerald, Mickey Mays, Terry Coombs, Terry Sharp, all these fighters. They was all fighters, mate. I mean, Sid Paddock, Kevin Paddock. Who else was there? There was there was loads. There was absolutely loads of fighters out there, and there was all good fighters, mate. All good fighters. And then and then things sort of changed. Everything changed. I get back in prison again, and I mean even prison. I mean prison changed. Even that changed. Because when I first went away in prison, uh, drugs was very very hard to get hold of. Yeah, you might get hold of a bit of puff, black or something like that. You might get hold of that. Nothing else. You was caught with heroin, coke or crack, anything like that. When in my times, 60s, 70s, you get absolutely obliged, mate. You get smashed to pieces. You would get nearly killed. A little bit of puff used to get in, a little bit of black. That's about it, yeah. The first time I actually see powders come into a prison was when Dave Fraser and Patrick Fraser, when I was in Maidstone, they brought speed in, yeah, sulphate, and it was like smelt like cat's piss all over the wing, all over World Wing where they was with me, yeah. It smelt of piss, cat's piss. It was all over the wing. Everyone stunk of it, yeah. Me, I didn't take no drugs. I stayed away from drugs, yeah. But it was all round. It was all over World Wing, Medway Wing, not Medway, yeah, Medway, Kent Wing. It was all over them, World, Kent and Medway. It was all over them wings. Everyone was speeding out their nut, yeah. That was the only time that I've ever seen a powder come into prison. Albany, it was just a little bit of black, a little bit of green, and that was it. And then the Barrys, Parking Johnny Barry, they were the first ones to bring the acetab into prison. Those were bring it in tubes, like King Edward's cigars. They used to put it in the tubes of King Edward cigars and stick it up their bum with the Durex, yeah, and bring it in, and they'd absolutely have thousands of them, thousands of speed tablets, yeah, and they was earn a fortune out of it. They earn a small fortune. Everybody, everybody. I might not me. I'm petrified. I was petrified. Was speeding. Running around, banging on your cell door, how you going, be quiet, there's a little man, that, all them sort of things, you know what I mean? I've said it before. I remember 2 cells from me, a mate of mine. I knocked on his door to see how he was. I got out, everyone gets out of the cell normally. It's electric cells, so when you get in the cell, first thing you do, you press a little button, a green button, that says that you want to come out for a shower or with a flask and all that. So you get 10 minutes, yeah? And 10, 15 minutes. But when everybody was on acid, mate, they was up all night, you know, trying to get out, and screws going mad, running around the staircase, coming in and trying to get all the people and take them down. Oh, it's murders in there. And I remember a couple of cells from me, this guy, I've said it before, this guy that I know very well, I tapped on his door. All right, mate, yeah, okay, shh, mate, shh. What's up? He went, see, can't you see him? I can see you, mate. He said that little green gnome, the little gnome there, see with that, the green gnome, Irish, he's Irish. Okay, yes, mate, I'll be with you in a minute. He's talking to this piss. I mean, oh yeah, I can see him. I don't want to say I can't see him, as he like have a bad trip, whatever he's doing. Yeah. I went, yeah, I can see him. He went, what's that? I said, what's happening? He went, shh. You have to go away. You can't talk to me because he don't like that, mate. Go away. Don't not come to my spy no more, mate. All right, good night, mate. And that's it. I thought, oh, what? Nut. You know what I mean? And in the morning, when they don't get up anyway, Albany was like that, he's a sweet there. And they don't get up, and you go in and see them, and they say to you, oh, do you remember that little... They even remember that, it's still there, it's still in the nut, yeah? And Laurie Gibbons, who was opposite me, he fit the life out of me, mate. He told me something that was true. He said, oh, looking into your cell, you was doing this, you was doing that, and it was all true. And it fit the life out of me, yeah? And I remember so much... I went, wow, really, what, mate? And I went, yeah, steady. And like, as I say, that was the only time that I see heavy drugs like that, acid tabs come into Albany Prison, and it used to come down again for John and Parky Barry, yeah? But anything heavier than that, powders, crack, coke, no. You'd get killed. I'm surprised that John and Parky Barry got away with that at that time, you know? But... prison maybe had changed, you know, it was 70s, it was 74s, 75s, it maybe changed it, but early years, like my early years, 65, 66, and all that, Borstal YPs, and all that, you get mullahs. If you was caught in drugs, mate, you get absolutely nearly killed, yeah? And whereas prison has changed also, what I started noticing later on, when I was doing my IPP, grass, that word grass, mate, it was like, when I walked into Wandsworth, I walked into there, it was all round, mate. Everybody was calling everybody grass. Come out and say, he's a grass. Mine don't say too much of it, he's a grass. You know, and I swear to God, mate, you know, it's changed, you know, he's a grass. Heard about him, he grassed him up, you know. And it was so much of that what went on. Because in my times, right, what it was, the police, right, were the worst people in the world at trying to make people grasses, right, because they used to do verbal. The verbal was the worst thing in the world, yeah, because when you get nicked with the police, in my times, the CIDs and the serious robbery squads and all that, those do a verbal, yeah. So no matter what, you might be in a conversation on the way to the neck or one or whatever, you know, on a cup of tea, mate, yes, mate, and they get the way you talk, and then they start writing a statement out, yeah? And you haven't even got to sign that statement, you know. But that statement, you know, they put you out, mate. What they do is unbelievable. I mean, there's so many people out there who would know what verbal was. Verbal was terrible, mate. They were putting people away just on verbal. And these judges at the Old Bailey and all the assizes, they knew exactly what it was and let it go. They let the verbal go. You had, you know, sometimes you had proper QCs, barristers, you know, barristers, QCs, you know, that knew that it went on, and they was to fire it into the judge, you know, fire into him, yeah, and you get a good QC, they got no chance to judge. The judge will know you must push that aside. That statement, that's verbal, what you call verbal, but a lot of them didn't. A lot of them didn't, mate. You know, I mean, Mansfield was one of the best QCs, Queen's Counsellors. Mansfield, it's gone mad at things like that, at verbal. I mean, he used to absolutely kill the old Bill at verbal, you know, he'd get it and said, you know, explain this, explain that, and the judge let it go. Jury, please don't accept this and all that crap. Another one was, what's his name? Not Woodry, yeah, not Woodry, I forget his name. Anyway, a couple of other, I think it was Lord Woodry, QC Lord Woodry. He was another one that didn't like all that verbal. Denning, Justice Denning was the worst one on the circuit. Justice Denning, mate. He was, his way of talking was anybody that comes in my court, anybody that comes in my court, and all that kind of, anybody that comes in my court, as far as I'm concerned, they're guilty until proven innocent. Not innocent until proven guilty until proven innocent. And the verbal would come, he chuck it all to the jury. That is correct. That's what's been said. Yeah, the old Bill would love. The old Bill always sorted out a judge, a good judge that was on their circuit that they could talk to and get him to stick on their side. But Mansfield, you got QCs like Mansfield, mate, would rip them to pieces. Yeah. Anybody know good QCs out there at that time, in them times, the 70s, 80s? It was more 70s, really, going up to the 80s. You had these good QCs, verbal, it was murders, grassing and all. Oh, mate, do you know, it made you cringe. I was going and I think, oh, look at him, it's don't stop. They don't stop. Grass is this, grass is that, grass is them, here's the grass, who's the grass. It was like, you couldn't, in my times, if you told someone was a goss and you had no paperwork to prove it, you would get absolutely mullered, mate. You would get smashed to pieces. You would get hurt so bad. Now, it's just witty nitty. They're all calling each other gosses. You know, it's what happens. It's a new thing that's come out. They all do it, yeah? And then, what do we have? What come in? Late 80s, early 90s, when people realised that, hold up, I can go nick under kilo puff. Where are they going to go to? They can't go to the police and say that I've nicked their gear, you know, and they can't do that, you know, and everyone was doing it. But a lot of people was getting really obliged doing it as well. People thought they'd get away with it. And when you got big firms, that were actually doing the same thing, they was giving people 100, 200, and then as these people were driving away with it, they was going down the road and getting held up by people and nicking the 200 key back and giving it back to them, and the two people who took it, they had to pay for it. Yeah, that was going on as well. There was like murders in the 90s. I don't know about now, but in the 90s, it was going on 24/7, you know. I remember things that I was involved with, but, you know, it's one of the things that happened, mate, you know. We was all doing the same thing, you know. If you get away with it, you get away with it, you know. But, you know, there's a lot of people that were getting absolutely mullered. I'm on about mullered, mate. Mullered, I mean really mullered, you know what I mean? Taking parcels. So, you know, there's a couple of things there, but just a quick video, really, you know, before I get into something, before I go to bed. And good night, later, bye-bye.